Here we go. We'll get a good chunk of this. Maybe we'll figure it out. But here we go. Anthony Palma, the murderer of, what was her name? Kristen Hatfield. And this is the Crime Vault audio boost, which I really appreciate. Like I said, I'm kind of versed in this case. I've heard this several times. Well, at least more than several times. And let's listen to this fucking guy squirm. Cheers.
Is in the backyard the morning that she was discovered missing. Okay? And on her window, and on the panties she'd been wearing the night before that were recovered in the backyard.
No, not me, because I was up. No.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Not me.
I find it far-fetched, but no. Because I don't know. I didn't know him.
And maybe you didn't know him, Tony, but
And I didn't have no business over there at all.
that may be also. What we need to talk about is
I have no business being over there. I didn't know them. Okay, Anthony.
what you were doing in that backyard that night and what happened. We need to get to the truth of
I
what
have
happened.
no idea what you're talking about.
Were you there trying to help Kirsten?
No. Like I said, I didn't know anything about them people at all. Nothing.
Nothing. I didn't know nothing.
Never met them. Never said hi, bye, nothing.
Well, here's our problem with that, is how did your DNA get there then?
Don't know.
How did your DNA get
I
there?
mean, is this something that's gone on, Tony, that, is this one of those things from 17 years ago that a split-second decision has haunted you for 17 years?
It should be, but I doubt it is for him.
I don't know what y'all are talking
Were
about.
you there to help her?
No.
Hopefully I can finish this. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble with the audio levels, but let's dive back into it.
Okay, so how did your DNA
I
get
have
on
no
the-
idea. I have no idea.
Tony, your blood is on her window. Your blood is on Kirsten's panties.
I don't see how that can happen.
Well, it happens when you're injured in some way and your blood gets transferred to her window and those panties.
Yeah, here's
And it
what
gets
I
left
think
behind.
happened. I think you were there to help.
This guy's
No.
blood is on her
wasn't
underwear
there.
and windowsill.
How did your blood get there?
I have no idea.
Tony, you were there. This is scientific evidence. It's not a
Exactly.
debate. It's not anything that can be argued.
And here's the point where I really feel you're a good guy.
I don't think
29
so.
Years at a hard job. You came up rough, like I did. Came up poor.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. I had nothing to do.
He's
with
like,
any of
I
this.
came up rough, I came up poor, but I also came up stupid.
But here's the thing. I don't think that was your intention. You're going to have to explain this.
I don't know how I do it.
If you were there,
I don't know how I'm going to try to act like that didn't
you
happen.
heard her yelling for help from your backyard, and you go over there to see because you knew that her mother was a meth head and that she was probably home alone, and you went over there to help,
No.
and you went to the backyard to avoid a conflict with the mother, and you was just going to take care of this
No.
little girl because just like you, growing up, you didn't want her being treated that way.
I'll be right back.
That's how understandable things become.
You know, I could understand that, but I don't understand how you get my DNA.
Well, exactly. How was your blood?
I have no idea.
Well,
I wasn't there at all.
We weren't there either. All we had is this, the evidence that was collected. I didn't collect it. It was collected 17 years ago, Tony. There's no reason it should be there.
No.
It's not helping your cause. What's going to help your cause is to explain to us how it's there.
I
Because
don't have a clue.
Because the fact it's there, is the gorilla in the room.
He's
Now,
like, well, I
there's
don't
a
know about
reasonable
no
explanation as to
gorilla.
why you were there, and you were there to help Kirsten.
I don't know about Kool-Aid. I
You
don't know
were
about
there
no
for-
gorilla. I don't know about
You had a
killer
relationship
gorilla.
with Shannon.
No, never knew her.
You were there as a peeping Tom or something of this nature.
No.
Then those are explainable.
Oh, wait, Esther,
I
who's there?
understand that,
Scumbag.
but no, never there,
Never there.
never there.
Can't give us any reason
No.
why your blood would be there.
No, can't
Tell
help
me the
you.
worst thing you can do for yourself right now in this position is lie and not be truthful.
I'm being truthful, dude. I don't know how, I can't explain that, why that y'all
He's
find
being
that.
truthful,
Well,
dude.
Your blood
Why
is
is
in
my
that backyard the
voice
morning that she's
maxing out?
discovered missing. Okay, this is your chance, Tony,
I understand
to
that, but
explain what happened. Maybe you didn't mean
no.
for whatever
I was
happened to
not
happen.
there.
You were there.
You were there.
I don't even think I was drinking that night.
This
It's true, I might have been, but I don't think so.
It's
And I was in bed. And I'm pretty sure I don't sleepwalk.
This isn't a deal where you got drunk the night before and actually went through with some urges you had,
No,
whether you're attracted to little girls
No.
or whatever you're.
I've never been attracted to little girls or little boys.
Then
Well,
why
once
is
again,
your
how is your blood
DNA
there?
on her undies?
I don't know.
Do you not believe me when I tell you that we have your DNA?
No, I don't.
You don't believe me? Okay. And I can show you the.
Oh, I'm sure you got it, but that's, but I don't know how that could have happened.
That's what we're hoping to get from you today. And this is your opportunity to be truthful and to take responsibility for whatever happened.
Yeah, if I was responsible, that'd be different.
Okay. Well, with that said, were you there and somebody else was there and actually took her and maybe you left
I
your
was
DNA
not
behind?
there.
I was not there.
I'm
Not
not
a
into
window
little girls,
paper.
and I'm not a window peeper.
Okay. Well, is there some other explanation for why you were in that backyard?
For why your
I wasn't
DNA
in
is
that
on her
backyard.
underwear. It's just,
I don't know how my blood could have been there or what. I know I went to bed. I know when the dog woke me up, I didn't go out my back door. I let dog in, and I went back to bed.
dude, he let dog in and went back to bed. Case closed.
Sonny, I don't know how
Stupid you are.
to impress upon you any more than the physical evidence.
That cop is heated.
And we that, Tony, we really do. And we have to get to a point where we can explain that.
I understand that.
Well, help me do that.
I wish I could. I don't know what y'all were talking about.
We're talking about you
I know
murdering a
sleepwalk.
child, you dumb shit.
And I think
Living with what?
with what happened.
Dealing with what? With you being a murderer, you fucking
It's
wizard.
one of those things, Tony, where you're scared, but I think there's some verses that says, at some point everything is known, and I truly believe
Sooner or
that
later, y'all gotta pay up.
one of these days that
He's
you're
like
gonna have to
bracing
come to
himself
realize
in the
that.
fucking
And
seat.
I think that your best bet is simply tell the truth.
I've been telling the truth.
Well, you haven't.
Well, unfortunately, what you're telling me doesn't align with any of the physical evidence that we have. And
you're a
that's
child
a huge
rapist
conspiracy.
scumbag.
The FBI and the OSBI and our officers from 17 years ago to frame you. We have to explain this. And I really think you need to talk about it, because I think that's the best thing for you to do is simply tell us the truth. I think you're going to feel better about it. You're going to have a weight lifted off your shoulders.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Look how he like fucking looks away from him because he can't lie to his face. Takes his stupid 1 foot leg, tucks it under the chair, and then talks to a wall, basically. I don't know what you're talking about, Jay. You totally know what they're talking about. Look at your body language. Oh my God, dude. I got my safari shirt. Got my green John Deere hat. This dude, man. I'm sorry, whatever.
You got somebody's blood, but not mine. I was not there.
Okay.
Not that night, not the night before, not the night after.
Tase him! Couldn't have been me.
Well, the blood's going to have to be explained, Tony. It's going to have to be. Yeah, I mean,
And I'm trying to go in my head how anything, but whenever she was living there, I didn't go there. I was there when William was there.
Yeah.
We used to call him Willie.
And I don't see how to cut myself on the window.
Yeah.
Cut yourself on a fucking screen or window or jamming your window. I can't believe it.
I don't know either.
I just don't know.
Well, I'm telling you that...
I'm telling you that you're a rotten hell and you're a scumbag. And
that you made a mistake.
you'll be reincarnated as a
lived with us
flea.
a long time, and I believe that your depression issues and things, and the way you were raised, and the abuse that you took as a child,
I've never been that depressed.
that has something to do with it. I really do.
This is our OSBI results. I kind of...
Now, I like how the detectives take breaks. So, you go in, you go out. This guy handles it for a while. This guy leaves. It makes it easier to kind of put the pressure on him. Like I said, I've recorded this twice already. And eventually they let him have several cigarettes. I don't think that should ever happen. He never gave them an ounce of information to help the parents feel some kind of resolve and give her a proper burial. So the head dude comes in at some point. I forget, he's probably the chief or whatnot of the detectives. And he lets him smoke 3 cigarettes, and it's like, dude, he's not being cooperative. Why are you letting him smoke cigarettes? Let him roast. Let him fiend. Make him uncomfortable. I don't understand why you would reward a guy. And then eventually, they're like, oh, fuck this. This guy's out of here. I would have never let him get a cigarette because he's fiending for a cigarette the whole time. I don't know, man. I don't think he deserved one.
No disrespect, I get the impression maybe you don't believe me when I told you. So I want to just bring you the copy directly from OSBI, and we've highlighted it here for you. Okay? I just want you to understand that this isn't a bluff, Tony.
I want you to understand your life is over. Oh, yeah. So I said this in the last take. Like I said, it takes several takes, but I love it. He just puts on his stupid glasses and stares at it like he's going to be able to understand what he's looking at. Dude, you're not going to understand it. He's like, I see 18 zeros and a 3 and a 6 over there. He's going to be like, find a line in the report that says, not Anthony Palma. It's not him. Oh, excuse me, detective. It says right here, not Anthony Palma. Alright, you can go home.
You see those odds?
Look at him. He has no clue
Those
what he's
odds,
looking at.
I can just tell you from my years of experience, I've never seen at that level, which means this is your DNA. Okay, this is your blood, Tony. Okay. Here is,
This guy.
that's Kirsten's panties that her mom identified that she had on that night. And that's where
I'm
your
telling
blood was
you,
found,
between his foot
as well as
and
on her window
his
sill.
knee is like 1 foot. Maybe less. It's a ruler.
So this isn't just a, and just so you'll know, we also located some blood on the fence picket, and it's still out for testing. But I suspect that there's a good chance that'll come back to you.
Oh, so that's possible.
I can't
I
explain
let
it.
dog in.
And that's
I
what I want to give you an
nebulize
opportunity to
it.
do, is explain it, because
And
it's
between
scientific
that, I
evidence.
murdered
We
the
know for a
child
fact that's your
murderer.
blood. And of course, Tony, I don't have to tell you that
Could you
when these
imagine
panties are identified
murdering
as
a child? How
Kirsten's,
fucking
and mom
depraved
says,
you
yeah,
have
she
to
was
be?
wearing those the night before. And the next morning, at dawn, your blood is found in them at the back fence of the property. I mean, if you're in my position as the detective, what does that tell you?
Don't look good for me.
It tells me I'm a real horrible person. I got caught.
You know, I just want to plead with
Need
you
my
to be honest.
nebulizer and my
I want to
13
be honest.
3
And I'm
packs
doing
of
drugs.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know,
I've
I
gone
mean,
through
Tony, I
my
think this
cigarettes.
has
I
gone
have
on for
since I
so
was
many years
12.
and has been unsolved, as you well know, for a long, long time. And I'm sure you've told people countless times, I had nothing to do with it, I don't know anything about it, et cetera, et cetera. But this isn't the time to keep saying the same old routine, because this isn't going away.
Hey,
Get what
you're
I'm saying?
done,
I mean,
dude.
this is
You're
scientific
toast.
evidence, Tony.
You're
That's
burnt
your
toast,
DNA,
brother.
that's your cells from your body. Tell me what happened. How did you get injured?
I'm trying to figure it out myself. What all this is about.
What
I mean,
all this
you
is
were,
about?
You were in
I mean, what all this is about? It's about a girl who got kidnapped and killed. What do you mean? I'm trying to figure out what this is all about. You're lucky people like this exist in this world that will, constantly open cold cases and still do their due diligence to find out exactly what happened. For family, for anybody that is disturbed by this, which would be most of the family, what do you mean? What do you mean, bro?
in some injured for your blood to be on her window and for your blood to be in her panties.
I'm trying to figure it out myself why I'm such a scumbag in my
I
blood.
had no dealings with those people. Didn't know nothing about
Telling serial
I believe
like I
that.
said. You don't
But I
need to
also
know
believe that
somebody
this is
who's
your
committed a
DNA
crime
on her
to
window seal and your
somebody's
DNA
family. You
on her
don't need to
panties
know
in the
them.
backyard. I don't doubt that you didn't know them, but that doesn't take this away.
Yeah, it doesn't
This isn't
change
going
the
anywhere.
gosh damn thing. Sorry, I don't
And we've got to get to the truth of
use
the
the
matter.
words
I
and
mean,
everything.
for you to sit here and say, I've never been in that backyard and I wasn't there, it's a lie, Tony. That's not the truth.
Yeah.
It's not the truth. And I gotta believe, if I can speak frankly, you seem like a good guy. And I know if I've made a mistake like that,
Good guy.
and we all make mistakes, we're all sinners.
Would you want this good guy living in your neighborhood? I don't think so. It's not a good guy. Come on, man. But I know that that's part of the interrogation to kind of, help him along. But anyway,
But I gotta believe this has been bugging you for your entire life since it happened.
well, I can't say he's been bugging me.
If it doesn't, then you're a cold-blooded killer, Tony. Is that what you're telling me?
Cold.
I ain't never killed nobody.
You sure did.
So you're telling me what happened that morning or that night hadn't been bothering you all these years?
That's not me.
Not him.
I don't.
Was that the alcohol or Were you experimenting?
Wasn't him? Wrap it up.
I don't do
Let him
drugs,
go.
and I don't know. I don't know. I still trying to fathom in my mind what
What? What did he say?
blood, my blood.
Yeah.
I was never around there, didn't know them people, didn't have no dealings with them people.
Well, maybe there was a Chinese surveillance drone that dropped a gentleman down who said, I'm going to read your palm. And I said, all right, you're going to read my palm. And he stuck me with a pushpin and he put my blood in the tube and they took a fucking time machine. I'm pretty sure he took a time machine because I heard the time machine noise and, you know, he disappeared and I think he planted my DNA.
Didn't care about some people.
Tony, this is your
I understand, okay.
You can sit here and say that same crap over and over. You and I both know that's not the truth.
No, it's the truth that has to come out. I don't understand this.
The truth is what needs to come out.
Yeah.
And you're the only person that can do that. You're the only person that can bring Kirsten back and let her family have a proper burial.
Exactly. All they want, they know their daughter is gone, right? Even before this interrogation, like, you know, she's probably gone, which is horrible to put parents through. The whole thing is horrible. You know how much fucking misery he caused? And all these people want at this point is to be like, find out where their child's body is and to give her a proper burial. That is effed up. I don't know why I'm censoring myself. That's fucked up. I mean, this guy he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare to parents. You live near this guy? Do you live near this dude? You don't sleep well at night. And I say that as a father, and he completely disturbs me. Anyway, it is so effed up. So he goes through like, you know, court and all this and that, and he never, like, he's just like the kid who, you know, got caught stealing a cookie out of a cookie jar or something like that. He just keeps denying it like it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. And at some point, you have to take some kind of responsibility and be like, listen, I did a completely horrible thing. Your daughter or your son, any member of your family is in this location so they can at least have a proper burial, and he denies them that.
You're the person that can help do that. You made a mistake, Tony. Okay, you made a huge mistake. Do what's right now.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for what happened and help us get Kirsten back.
Can't help you. Don't know. I don't understand.
He's
You
a
said that's not me,
man-child.
and
A
somebody said
man-child
that's me.
loser.
What it says is
That's
I wasn't in my right mind.
I
was
never
living-
ever apologized to anybody. I never did anything wrong. One of those people. You know what I mean? We all know them. It takes a big person to be like, yo, I apologize. I've apologized a lot in my life, but it wasn't for anything as severe as this. But every now and then you gotta be like, I fucked up, I did this, and try to understand how much you fucked somebody else's life up or cause somebody else some kind of misery or hassle, even if it's just a hassle, like, you know what I mean? Come on, dude. I gotta get up. I gotta take a leak. I'll be back in about 4 minutes. Let it roll. Let it rock.
Well, in the influence, like I said, if I had beer, I might have had 2. I went to bed. I always go to bed. I'm a 10 o'clock bedtime guy. The only reasons here why I haven't been going to sleep is because I have to have a treatment. I wake up every 2.5 hours, 3 hours, take treatment, go back to sleep. I have nothing bothering me other than breathing problems.
So your conscience hasn't been bothering you for all these years?
No.
Let me ask you this. Your wife told us that every year on Kirsten's anniversary that you're upset about it, that you go through a phase of being depressed and upset about it.
And the reason that is, it's on the news, and yeah, how do you feel about it? Well, yeah, I'm going to be upset. I mean, it's a missing child. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as me, oh, what day is this? No.
It's not just a missing child, Tony. It's a missing child with your blood on her windowsill and your blood on her panties. So should that affect you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that tells me you're human. That tells me that you have a heart and you have a conscience. But you're not showing it, sitting here and denying that you've never been in there. I don't know anything about it. That wasn't me. That's not the truth, Tony. This is the time to
I
get this off
understand
your
that.
chest.
That's, but I don't.
You need to think about that, because I'm just telling you, when all this gets presented to the judge and jury,
I understand.
do you think anybody's going to believe what you're saying?
No.
Nobody's going to believe you,
I just,
because it's not the truth, Tony. If you want to carry it to your grave and not do what's right, that's on you. But you need to think about what you're doing, because right now, these
I'm
decisions
thinking
you're
right
making,
now is my damn blood or me, because I was not there. And I mean, that night I was in my same mind. Can I read that deal again?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Well, it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Pipers. Now look at these pipers.
You know how big sextillion is?
No such thing.
Huh?
No such thing. Too big.
Yeah, it's too big. I mean, you can line people up from planet Earth all the way to the moon.
There's all the dude, there's all the
Remember me,
detective. Like, I gotta get the hell out of here before I shove this guy's head.
I've been working on this
into the
case for 2
frickin'
years.
drywall.
Real quick. I've been working on this for 2 years. I've got a little girl.
And
About her age,
I'm about to
she's
tase you.
at the time.
They should have tased him! Tased him
And this
8
case is all, I think
times!
this case has taken over me, and
I can imagine.
it's all.
I can imagine.
You know, and I told you earlier on, you know, all the cases I work is crimes against children cases. So my whole life, I go home, I have kids. I come to work, I deal with kids. You know, and you seem like you said in our past, you know, conversations we've had. All you do is you care about kids. You take care of the neighborhood kids, and you got a heart just like me.
understand that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
that's
takes
what
care of
we're
kids.
trying to figure out, Tony, is how is your blood, your DNA get on it? And you were there when I took your sample from you, right? We had an unknown male profile DNA on her panties and on her windowsill.
Oh man, the back of that dude's head's really unfortunate. Trust me, man. You know, I'm 40. I'm balding too. But maybe it's the light or whatnot. You know, I always feel for people who start to go bald. But when you do, use a hot tip. Shave it. Shave it. It's all you got left, man. Anyway. Can't help you. Can't do
It
it.
don't make no sense to me.
All I'm concerned about is where's she at, Tony?
And I'm sure.
Exactly.
Where's she at? Help me find her. I mean, we got pictures of windowsills, and
The windowsill that day, you know, we go right down the line with all these pictures, you know. You say, oh.
What a
I mean, everything,
horrible...
of course, today
What
it's
a
totally different
nightmare
ballgame. There'd be
for that
500
family.
pictures of a windowsill. And it's all there. I mean...
You figure out the prints?
Yeah, those were kids' prints there.
Did you figure out the prints? What are you talking about, dude? Your blood is there. Your DNA, your blood is on the window. Your blood is on her underwear. We didn't figure out the prints. Like, oh, it wasn't his prints. Let him go.
I was not there the day before, that day, next day. I know.
Have you talked with the FBI since the last time you and I spoke?
No.
Okay. What all have you done for the FBI? Have you taken a polygraph? Have you been to their office?
The only time I was talked to the FBI was when they were in my house.
Okay. But you never taken a polygraph or anything like that. Didn't we ask you about a polygraph when I spoke with you last?
Oh yeah, this
I
is...
think we did.
You know, I let that Tracy do.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did take a polygraph for that. Yeah.
So they say, did you take a polygraph about Kristen? And he's like, nah, I took one for Tristy. Which I think was his, one of his girlfriend's, one of his girlfriend's daughters. And, I mean, that paints a picture right there. Why are you taking a polygraph? And I think he said he took it the same day. So the same day that he got the polygraph from Tristan was the same day he got a polygraph for, what was her name? Kristen? Here, let me find out real quick. Yeah, Kristen Hatfield. So the same day he took a polygraph for his quote-unquote, girlfriend's daughter was the same day he took a Kristen Hatfield polygraph. Alright, so that's really weird. That's a red flag. Straight up and down.
But we need to figure this out.
Yeah, you do.
But you're my key. You're the only one that can help me, Tony. I want you to help me.
If I could, I would, because it's making me look real bad.
Sure is. I gotta figure this out because it's making me look bad. Not about what I did, it's about how bad you're making me look.
I'm gonna be mean or anything, but I need the truth. I need
the truth too.
I need to find her. I need to find Kirsten. Help me find her.
Scumbag. And he moves it away.
I can't help you.
Was there somebody else involved?
I can't help you on that either. I didn't help anybody or help myself take this girl.
And how do you explain the ball?
I don't. And I can't.
Now the read technique, at least what I remember of it, they should have just stared at him for like at least a minute or so. Because it makes people like him feel like they gotta, fill in the silence, and it makes them uncomfortable. Which I'm sad they didn't do at that point. Skillet McGee comes in here, he's the head honcho. I think he kind of screwed this up, because in about maybe 10 minutes, he's going to allow Anthony Palma to smoke a couple cigarettes. Just please don't do that next time. Please. Let him squirm. Let his last cigarette be before he came into this building. Because like I said before, right? He's going to go to jail. He's going to get put in a holding cell. Alright, there's no cigarettes there. Eventually he might make it to the blocks, the dorms, or the pods, right? And having a cigarette in any one of the last three is near impossible. Okay? He might get a clip. Somebody might pick up a clip. Lighting it, to light it, you gotta use a battery and wires. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh yeah, you know, I was in county, which I was. I'm not boasting about it. You know, I'm not proud of it. But when I was in county, when you're in county jail, you really don't get anything like that. You may get a clip that somebody fucking grabbed between court and being transported and they find it on the floor. I don't want him to feel relaxed. I don't want him to be happy he has a cigarette. And they let him have I don't know, this guy right here, he lets him have at least 3, I think. Why would you do that? He hasn't given up any information or anything. He's denying everything. And it's just unnecessary. Let the guy sweat. Let him be uncomfortable. He's a murderer. He's a child murderer.
Let me see your arm. You have a scar on your arm. What happened there?
I was picking up the toilet bowl and it cracked
When was that?
last year.
Hey, I don't remember you, Rude. I'm Major David Huff. I'm like pretty much these guys' boss. The guys have been out there kind of talking to me about the interview. What do you say? Let's take a break for just a minute. I don't want you getting upset at us. We really are trying to get to the truth, but I don't want you getting upset with us. Take a drink of water. We'll just relax for a minute, okay? We'll just take a deep breath. All right. I know.
Outside smoke a cigarette?
Gotta go outside, smoke a cigarette? No.
Yeah, come on out with us.
No, you're a child murderer.
I understand.
I think even the other detective is like, this is
I'm
ridiculous.
not sure we don't have any juveniles out here. Hold on just a second. Yeah, hold on just a second.
Got a cigarette? No. No. Your DNA is on her windowsill. Your DNA is on her underwear. What do you mean? And you can't tell them where you buried
I normally
her?
don't do it. I'll let you smoke in here.
These parents can't even get a decent burial for their child. It's horrible.
Yeah. There's some kids around here.
Number right?
No, go ahead.
You want me to wait? I smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. I have since I was 12.
It was against the law anymore.
That's what he said.
I know you're stressed, so we're going to allow it.
I smoked 3 packs
He's
a day.
stressed, so loud.
Since I was 12.
Now I get one thing. Maybe this detective thinks, well, if I let him, have a cigarette or 2, maybe he's actually going to open up to me. Maybe he's going to be, a little bit more honest. That doesn't happen. In fact, Anthony fucking Palma never told where he buried this child, okay? Let that sink in. He's just like, oh, I got my hand in the cookie jar. Oh, none of that ever happened. Fucking disturbing.
I can't explain this. And the only thing that I'm thinking right now is, yeah, I'm being set up because we want to close this case.
Hey, Mom, I didn't put my hand in the cookie jar. I'm just going tonight.
Seriously.
The 9.
Okay. Well, I understand what you're
Fucking
saying.
guy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When this first stuff, the stuff first came out, the DNA, I want you to understand how it works, because not everybody does this, so it wouldn't be uncommon for you not to know. The normal person that doesn't do police work doesn't know. The DNA.
And look at this dude smoking stupid cigarette. He smokes it so long. Gotta smoke the filter.
Okay. And it was put into a container where we could keep it indefinitely. All right. It's been there ever since the FBI took it. When they were helping us, it was there. Okay. We had what was called an unknown DNA sample.
It's like we had what we call an unknown douchebag report. So we were trying to figure out where the douchebag was. And after 17, was it 17 or like 16 or something? After all those years, it pointed to you as the douchebag asshole murderer. Okay, Tony? Well, I don't see how that can happen. Well, it happens when you're a douchebag piece of shit murderer. It's not me. Yeah, it is. It's your blood. It's your DNA. Wasn't there? Oh, you were there, dude. Your DNA was there and your blood was there. You're the douchebag piece of shit murderer. I feel like you guys is doing a April Fool's joke on me or something like that. No, it's not a joke. You're fucked. You're a piece of shit. You're BF'd. I don't see how I could be BF'd if I'm having a cigarette. It's one of the last cigarettes you're gonna have. Alright, so I'm on a tangent. Anyway.
If it was human DNA, we can tell that. Ashtray. Oh, yeah, right.
I need a cup of water to ash my cigarette.
And we knew it was human DNA from a male.
By the way, I don't know if I said this yet, but whoever painted that room, come on, dude. You gotta use painter's tape on the moldings and the trim.
We can know that. What we don't know, when we got it back then, we didn't know the name attached to it. We didn't know whose DNA that was, okay?
What we didn't know is who the scumbag actually was. And it turned out it was you, bro. How do you feel about that? Well, I don't know how I feel about it because I didn't do nothing. Well, tase him. Should have tased him in his fucking neck 8 times and shoved his head through the drywall.
When the FBI and Detective Miller went out and got those swabs, okay, they got them from...
They would just be like, he's becoming rowdy. And like kind of block, like the 2 detectives would block Anthony and just say these things over and over, and then like an officer would come in and just go and just light him up. I mean, he deserves that. Am I wrong? He deserves being tased for no reason. Anyway, I digress.
A bunch of people, alright? You being one of them. Then it was tested against a sample that was taken off the windowsill and off of the panties, which, by the way, I don't know if they told you this or not, but also has Kirsten's DNA on it. Because little kids, they get their little pee-pee in their pants and skid marks. So her DNA's on it, your DNA's on it, and it's also on the windowsill. That was all done way back when this all happened. It's just now that the DNA results have come back. And I don't know if they told you this. You seem like an intelligent man. So to help you comprehend
Intelligent.
when we're talking about when we say,
He seems like an intelligent person. An intelligent person doesn't murder a child and have their blood on their frickin' underwear. He's not an intelligent person. He might know how to put like a carburetor back together, or like maybe, I don't know, help somebody jump a car. But that's probably it, man.
we know this to be a fact. The number sextillion, what this is saying, if you take a 1 and you put 21 zeros behind it,
He's like, I'm saying you're a sextillion reptilian.
Anybody in the world, any scientist is going to say that that is your blood. Now, obviously, when we have a case like
Anyone
this,
with intelligence is
we're not
a
going
smelly
to
bastard.
we're not going to lay out everything that we know and everything we have. That's just not the way it works. It'd be counterproductive.
He's like, cast
We're not
the
going to do
filter?
it. There's more than this, but we're going to try to get you to digest one thing at a time. Now, having said that, do we know all the circumstances surrounding what happened that night? We don't. Only God, the person who did it, and Kirsten probably know that. But I'm going to tell you this. We do know that Kirsten was wearing those that night. We do know that your blood's on there and her DNA's on there. And that is just an absolute fact.
I understand that.
And I tell you, just listening and talking to you, 17, 18 years now has passed. I'm going on my 25th year here. I worked every case you could probably imagine. So is Detective Miller, like he was telling you. We're not brilliant men by any stretch of the imagination, but when it comes to this stuff, we're pretty darn smart. And this is what it boils down to. This much time can pass, and if something horrible happens in your life that you don't want to remember, you can put it in a little box and put it out here and try to keep it away from you.
Put it in a box!
It happens. I've had to put horrible things that happen in my life and put it in a little box out here and just hope that it goes away.
What are you talking about with this little box thing?
It doesn't come out,
Weird.
because I've seen some terrible things.
I can imagine.
Sure, yeah.
And here's what I
seriously.
think, and what I think may not matter to you, but it's from the heart. This is what I think. I think that you're not an evil person. I don't think you're an evil person. I've heard about your work history. I know all that stuff. I know you're a dependable person, a hardworking man.
Work history
I think
have
on
to
this
be
one
not
night,
an evil person.
this one time, for whatever reason, some demon inside you made a mistake. The fact is there. Here's how we look at it. I'm about to retire. I know he told you he's got a young daughter. We want to know where this baby's at.
Alright, so I just know something weird, right? So, this head guy, head detective, or, boss of the detectives is speaking with him, and then he says, my partner has children as well. And they talked earlier, you know what I mean? But, he will not make eye contact with, with this guy. He's like, I don't think he's even making eye contact with Skillet McGee. I think he's just going like this, right? Just a cyclops in it. You know what I mean? And I think that says a lot. This dude right here knows that he's a piece of shit and that he kills a child. Excuse me. He knows that he's a piece of shit. He killed a child. This guy wants to beat his brains in, I'm sure. This guy kind of wants to tase him. And he's like, let's go look this way. You know what I mean? Because, Head Honcho said this guy has children, and now he's worried. And he sure got tased 15 times.
We don't know where she's at.
Sure. No, I can't help you.
I can help you. Yeah, you can. Tell us where the body is. Let the parents at least
I
give
don't
her
understand.
a fucking proper burial.
Can I ask you
This is
something?
aggravating.
Sure.
Why did you tell your wife that the FBI had given you a polygraph and you passed? She just told us that you said that.
No, I told her that y'all had gave me a polygraph, but it was, excuse me, for something altogether different, for the Tristy deal.
For the
I
Tristy.
got 2 polygraphs that day.
For another young girl.
Okay. So you think she just misunderstood it?
Probably. I told her the FBI was in my house. They shut my house down. Garage, shed, all that.
Wow, man, that's rough.
And the only time this comes up is when she asks about it. And it's usually at the anniversary because there's newspaper people or television people are knocking on the door. Do you still live here? Do you know blah, blah, blah? And that's it.
Who all still lives around here? That's
Do you know
live
blah,
there
blah,
longest,
blah?
right?
As far as I know.
There's no one that still lives there that's there back when you were there.
Dude, tase them! I would pay
Well,
maybe $200. I'm not,
We need your help.
I don't have a lot of money. $200 if they
Yeah,
go over
yeah.
and tase him in the neck.
I do. I smoke 3 packs a day.
Wow, you smoke 3 packs a day, man. You're a fucking legend.
And if I could help you, I would help you.
No, you wouldn't.
But I don't like to sit in this situation.
I don't
Oh, yeah, I don't look at the situation.
Yeah.
I'm in a
I've
situation.
done research on, what happened when you was in Walters and stuff like that, and I've listened to part of the interview, here this morning, and is there a chance that maybe
And I think you're a real
you
piece
blacked
of
out and
shit.
did it? That you went over and did something?
Prove to me that you're not a piece of shit. Sorry, can't help you. Can't help you. Can't help you. Can't prove that I'm not a piece of shit.
You said something about you don't think you sleepwalk.
No. I'm just going through scenarios.
By the way, I do sleepwalk, and it's usually I wake up and I eat food and sometimes do weird stuff. One time I had a gallon of water, and for some reason I poured some milk into it. And usually it's just eating and falling asleep with food around me, which is weird. I mean, I'm not a big guy, but for some reason when I go to bed, I kind of lose touch. I guess you could say lose touch. I'm starting to do bizarre things like putting milk in water jugs. That was the weirdest thing that happened, and that was just recently.
Okay, I mean,
And that's kind of being sarcastic.
Oh my god, he took a tiny sip of water!
And
That's the first time he grabbed that water. It was after, cigarette? Maybe his first cigarette or second? He's like, I got a little bit of water. This is like, dude, you don't, this is the kind of guy Alright, I'm not trying to mark people out or not, you know. But this is the kind of guy who drinks like fucking Mountain Dew all day at work, back when he was working, comes home, right? Doesn't take a sip of water and starts drinking. Now, that might be alright to some people, but that is fucking absolutely disgusting. Okay? I'm just gonna skip the rest of what my rant was gonna be, and we'll see what's up.
From what we read from the report that happened there in Walters, that was a pretty horrific deal that happened.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows that it's somebody that can lose it.
You know, I was
For
a
whatever.
kid that was drunk, and I still pay for that. That'll never go away.
Every day, every day, every day.
What it comes down to is this. You know, we've had a lot of people in this room and interviewed a lot of people about stuff similar to this, unfortunately. And there's two kinds of people we deal with. There's the people that, when we present the evidence that we've got, and they know they've been found out, they stand up and take some type of responsibility and move on, or they deny it. And to me, that's
They deny
parts that
it
are really evil.
and smoke
And
a
I
fucking
just
cigarette.
didn't get the feeling that that was you. But I guess I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time.
I can't explain it.
Just denying his responsibility in a child dying. Loser.
Well, not something this serious.
No, there's some April Fool's.
Glad
Where
that
do you
dude
think
murdered
if
you.
someone was to, the person that did do this,
You're dancing in hell on the flames
Where
of
would
the
they take that number?
fires.
or if they would?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell.
I
Can't
watch
do.
all the cop shows and stuff like that.
Dude,
or
fucking
I watch, and there's-
smash
there's
his
no
head
telling.
through the drywall.
So you bring up cop shows, so I'm sure
My wife likes cop shows.
yeah, you've watched a lot of
CFI and
stuff like that, so, you know,
Yeah.
and most of the
I watched his eye.
classes and all the research and stuff I've done with, you know, missing children, where they're usually located at, they're located, you know, where the suspect lives 2 doors down.
Bounce
3
his
doors
head
down in
off the
same neighborhood.
table. Bounce it.
So, I mean, you've hit the profile, you know, your past history shows that,
Yeah.
you know,
It was-
but
That's another strike.
I don't know if anyone knows this, but he had a past history of not breaking, entering, but like burgling. Anyway,
Against me.
no, but like I said, people change, Tony. People change.
it's like I wish I
So
could
like
say
you're talking about
that.
how you grew up. I grew up with a single mom that raised 9 kids by herself, and I'm about the only one out of my family that's graduated school that has a successful job.
All right.
You know, people tell me you can't
I
do
wish
that.
I could
You're
say
a piece of
that.
crap.
Yeah, and I showed them that. No. But
Right.
It's not about anything like that.
Dude,
I was
kick him in
not
the head.
Sexually molested or abused. I was hated, but
Kick him
I
in
felt
the head.
good. You know,
Oh
he taught me some
man,
shit, and
that'd be so
that's what
funny.
you know, go through my life. I know some stuff. I know carpentry, I know mechanics, you know. I
Yeah.
cuss him to this day because he hated me.
Yeah.
But
Jack of all trades.
that didn't turn me into a monster
You are a monster.
because I was hated.
Yeah, and I don't think you're a monster. I think just one time something happened and it went a little too far and something had to, you know, an accident
Actually, I'm
happened.
in shock is what I am. Like I said, I am.
I'm in shock.
Y'all gonna say, yeah, well, but this is just a joke, or not a joke, but trying to give me the
We always
something.
joke about
I'm not
dead
here lying. I'm not
children.
lying to you about anything. Like I told you from the get-go, you know, my job was to investigate this case and to go out, and I guarantee you, there were probably 30, 40 people that I went out and I got swabs from, just like you on that day.
Can't help you. I'm a scumbag.
I'm shocked. I don't know what to say.
About to smoke this filter. This guy's got.
Well, you're,
Alright. See you
Tony, you're the
later.
last person to touch her. You're the last person to touch her. That's her penis. You're the absolute last person that touched Kirsten.
You're the last person to touch
That
the
with other
girl
things that we
who's
have and that we
missing.
know and that we've learned.
And dead.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. This guy especially has been pushing to allow him to be able to talk to you and try to make some sense about it and give you an opportunity to tell the truth.
Fucking shove
I
his
was-
head
heck,
through
I was
the
kind of against it,
drywall.
to be honest with you, because you don't get that kind of scientific evidence every day. That is absolutely the most astronomical thing that you could imagine. It's about like every grain of sand on the whole planet Earth, or the odds that it's not you that were the last person that touched her panties. That was the last person that went through that window.
That is so
The odds are they're incomprehensible. So is that the way it's going to be, Tony? Is it going to be a deal where till the day you die you're going to
Proclaim my innocence, yeah.
Proclaim my innocence.
You're not I can tell you this. Well, that's fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you or get into a battle with you. I can tell you this. Everything that we were going to do here today and everything that you were going to tell us is going to go into a report. It could either be a report saying that he manned up and had some remorse, or it can be that it's that evil person that we were afraid of. And that's up to you. That ball is totally in your court. But it's going to read one way or another. And that's up to you. Because it goes from us to the district attorney and then to the court. So it can read how you want. But giving you this opportunity, that was this gentleman's idea. And I gave him that opportunity, and I'll be able to go home and sleep tight tonight knowing that I gave you that shot. And if you don't want to take that shot, then that's fine. I can't force you to, Tony. All we want is the truth, and all we want is to finally be able to let a mother bury her child. That's what we want. Properly.
Exactly. Can't have a mother, bury her child. Can't do it. Fucking asshole.
We want her to be able. We want her to be able to
I understand.
Tony.
You piece of.
I know you already think I'm guilty, but I know I'm not.
excrement.
So I don't know what else to tell you.
Tony,
I'm still in shock.
I know you're in shock.
Doesn't compute.
Because it's been 17 years and you thought it was over. That's why you're in shock.
No, what I'm in shock about is
No,
got my blood?
you're in shock because it was 17 years ago and you thought you were cleared. You fucking dirtbag piece of shit human being. Ugh. I'm in shock that now I'm fucked. Dirtbag bastard.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
That was impossible.
I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that it is absolute. It is absolute. There is no maybe. There's a possibility.
Get in
It is
his
absolutely
face. Use
100%.
the read technique. Just get really close to him. We should never let him get the cigarettes, man.
Hey,
Why? Why'd you do that?
Take a break, give him some time to think about what we talked about.
Ah, for fuck's
Do you
sake.
have any more to smoke?
Not yet.
Go ahead and smoke for a minute. Let us go out
Why? Why let him do
Get your head
that?
together. We'll give you one more opportunity to think about what I just said. Okay?
I am stuck here because I have to finish this. Like I said, this is the third time I had to fucking redo this. Ugh. Smelly bastard. Well, I'm gonna shuffle my feet. Put my hands on my 1-inch leg. And then I'm gonna have a cigarette. Loser. Asshole. Yeah, you're fucked. I'm gonna have a cigarette and think about this. Oh, I'm caught. I can't believe it. It finally happened. Smoke. I'm a scumbag bastard. I can't believe it. I thought it was almost a dream. I'm a piece of shit. Let's go smoke. Got my low up here. I'm gonna take my little 1-foot leg, tuck it back. Well, I might take another puff. Makes me feel better. Oh man, I gotta get the fuck out of this. Is this almost over? I'm pretty sure it is. Give me a second. I gotta drop the headset. Whoa! Shit. I'm just in here, I'm just thinking. This guy with his fucking little blanket, cigarette fucking safety blanket. You are fucked. dirtbag. They found you. They fucking found you, you dirtbag. Smelly bastard. Go in there and tase him, shove his head through the fucking drywall. We'll sit like this. That might make me look like I'm innocent. Kick this fucking guy's head. Oh, I'm sorry. I know. Well, I'm so aggravated. This is the third time I record this fucking dirtbag. Now, huge shift. So they come in and he's like, I'm gonna look down here. What is he looking at? What is he looking at? He's looking at either right here, something like that. Is that what he's doing? Alright, so Tony, we're gonna break your fucking neck.
Where's she at?
I can't help you.
Loser.
Okay, I want you to understand too, and you probably already know this, you're not leaving this room
I
down.
understand that.
I understand that. I got my cigarette, smoking the
It's probably
filter.
going to be quite a while that you're going to spend in jail. Just because we don't have a body.
Quite a while.
doesn't
You
mean
could
that we're not
go
gonna charge
to
you with
jail,
anything.
then go to
I've got enough
prison and
evidence
be
against you.
murdered. Thank God.
But, go ahead.
Tony, there's an arrest warrant in that deal signed by a judge, and it's for murder. And judges don't sign that unless there's probable cause. And to be fair to you, okay, to be fair to you, you're not going anywhere. You're being charged with murder. And here's the deal I want you to remember. Right now, we're interviewing every one of your family members. You can probably hear it in the next room. We're already at your house. We will have backhoes, ground penetrating sonar, cadaver dogs, the whole 9 yards.
We was laughing about that yesterday.
What's
I
the
was
fun about
laughing about
If
that.
y'all were to ever go in our backyard, I got dogs and cats and pets everywhere in that backyard. I don't know what the hell we was
Laughing
laughing
about
about that. We was watching something on TV.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
No?
So we're not going to find, and this is your opportunity because, I mean,
You ain't gonna find Kirsten Hatfield in my backyard.
we're on
Where
your
are we gonna
property.
find her?
Where do I find her?
I don't know.
Did you black out and
Dirtbag
you took her
piece of
somewhere and dumped her?
shit.
I didn't get her.
Who did?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it with, you're that person that has no remorse, and that's the way the report's going to read.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
what I'm seeing from you is you could care less if we ever find her, and you could care less.
Just put a cigarette out for me. Turn around for me. Put your hand behind your back.
Tase him! That would be so funny if they.
Alright.
What a son of a bitch.
You're under arrest for murder. Kidnapped Kirsten Hatfield.
Yep. Sure. Ugh. I wanted some relief, right? From this story. I had to record it 2 more times. I didn't get it. It still aggravates me. Anyway, be careful out there. You don't know how messed up people are, and there's a lot of messed up people. I'm happy to say that he got murked. And I know that's a effed up thing to say. Sorry that I say effed up or murked. But, you know, I have a child and I kind of adopted the phrase of not saying curses. But he got what he got. I hate him. I think he's in hell now, so that might be a good thing. Cheers and God bless to any good person in this world. You have the power to be a good person and not be a bad person, so, cheers.